Last time we followed the money from the players who sacrificed up to the owners who got richer without lifting a finger, and we ended with one question: who actually paid for all of it? The $10,000 tickets, the billions in value, the whole machine. Here is the answer: you did. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. You're paying for it even if you have never watched a single game in your life, even if you hate sports. Right now, money is moving out of your pocket and into a billionaire's franchise, and you almost certainly don't know it's happening. There are 4 separate ways the machine reaches into your wallet. 2 of them you can see. 2 of them are hidden so well that most people fund a team their entire lives without ever realizing it. We're going to walk through all 4, from the obvious price of a ticket to the tax dollars quietly building stadiums for the richest men in America. Start with the one everybody knows, the cost of just showing up. And it is no longer the price of a ticket, it's the price of an evening. Take a family of 4 to an average NBA game today and the bill comes to around $444. In the NFL, the league average night for that same family runs about $1,340. At the Philadelphia Eagles, it crosses $2,000. And it's not the tickets driving that anymore, it's everything around them. Concessions for a family of 4 at an NFL game now run $180 to $220. 10 years ago, that was $80 to $100. The same hot dogs, the same soda, more than double the price. And the markup is the point. A beer the team buys for $1 or $2 sells for $7, $10, $15. At the Super Bowl, a single can of beer hits $17, a hot dog $12, a soda $7. This isn't an accident of inflation. The team keeps 40 to 50% of every concession dollar as pure profit. You are not buying a snack, you are funding a franchise, one overpriced soda at a time. Parking tells the same story. A spot that cost $15 to $25 a decade ago now runs $35 to $60, and at premium venues $75 to $100, you are paying triple to leave your own car in a field before you've walked through the gate. And at the very top, the number stops being a night out and becomes a flex of pure wealth. We saw it in the last chapter. The 2026 Knicks finals were the most expensive in history. Just getting in the doors started near $4,000. The cheapest resale seat for one game hit $10,000. A single pair of courtside seats sold for $279,000. And even the ticket price isn't the ticket price. When you buy online, the fees pile on top. The Federal Trade Commission found that Ticketmaster's service fees average 27 to 31% of the ticket's face value, and in some cases run as high as 44%. The markup was so extreme that in 2026, the Justice Department forced them to cap fees at 15%. For years, on a $100 ticket, you were quietly handed $30 or $40 in fees for the crime of clicking buy. That's the visible cost, the ticket, the night, and it's brutal. But it's the cheapest way the machine takes your money because at least you chose to be there. Here's the second one, and it's the one that makes people genuinely angry the first time they hear it. Before you are even allowed to buy a season ticket to many teams, you have to buy something called a personal seat license, a PSL. Read that slowly. A personal seat license is not a ticket, it is a one-time fee you pay for the right to then buy tickets. You pay thousands of dollars up front, and in exchange you get permission. Permission to spend more money every single season on the actual seats. And the prices are staggering. Entry-level licenses start around $1,000. Premium ones run $15,000 to $50,000. In high-demand markets, they cross $100,000. For the Los Angeles Rams stadium, seat licenses were priced as high as $175,000 to $225,000 per seat. In the late 1990s, a typical NFL seat license ran $600 to $4,500. Today, the high end is $50,000 and up, an increase of more than 1,000%. To put that in perspective, the cost of almost everything else in America roughly doubled in that time. The price of being a loyal fan went up 10 times faster than inflation. You don't just pay to watch anymore, you pay for the privilege of being allowed to pay. Now we get to the hidden costs, the ones you fund without ever choosing to. And the first one is sitting on your cable bill right now, whether you watch sports or not. Look closely at a cable or satellite bill and you'll find a line item called a regional sports fee. That fee pays the regional sports networks, the channels that carry your local NBA, NHL, and baseball teams. And here is the trick. Every single subscriber pays it. The grandmother who only watches the news pays it. The family that only streams cartoons pays it. You pay it. Comcast charges around $8.25 a month for it. Cox, up to $8. In big sports markets, the surcharge can run $20 a month or more. That is roughly $100 to $250 a year, taken from tens of millions of households, many of which never watch a single minute of sports. The industry has a name for this. They call it the socialized cost model. It means the bill is spread across everybody, so the team gets paid the same whether the season is great or terrible, whether you're a diehard or you've never heard of the players. By 2024, regional sports networks were pulling in about $4.50 per subscriber every month from people who, in many cases, would happily pay to make sports disappear from their bill entirely. You are a financial supporter of a professional team, you just never agreed to it. And it gets worse because the model is collapsing and they're making you pay twice. The largest operator of these regional sports networks, the company behind Bally Sports, went bankrupt, spent nearly 2 years in Chapter 11, and rebranded to FanDuel Sports Network. To keep the money flowing, they now want you to keep paying the cable fee and buy a separate streaming pass just to watch your local team, and even then, blackout rules can stop you from seeing the game in your own city. You pay on your cable bill, you pay again to stream, and you still might get a blank screen. And here's the fourth one, the biggest, the most hidden, and the one that should genuinely make you angry. The stadiums these billionaires play in, you helped build them with your taxes. According to a 2026 report, American taxpayers have spent approximately $33 billion of public money on sports stadiums. $33 billion. Not the owners, not the leagues. The public through bonds, subsidies, and tax breaks that get paid back out of city and state budgets for decades. Just in the last decade, 8 NFL venues alone were built using $6.5 billion in taxpayer money. And here's the cruelest detail from that same report. After all that public spending, fans on average got fewer seats and higher prices. You paid to build the building, and then you paid more to get inside it. If this sounds familiar, it should. In an earlier video, we watched 11 American cities take on the costs of a World Cup while FIFA kept the revenue. This is the same machine run by different billionaires. A team threatens to leave town, the city panics, and to keep them, the public agrees to fund a stadium for an owner whose franchise, as we saw last chapter, is already worth $10 billion and rising 20% a year. So the man in the luxury suite doesn't just keep the ticket money, the cable money, and the rising value of the team. He often didn't even pay for the building it all happens in. You did. So let's add up the 4 ways the machine reaches you. 1. The night out, $400 to over $1,000 every time you go. 2. The seat license, thousands just for the right to buy in. 3. The cable fee, $100 to $250 a year, whether you watch or not. And 4. The stadium, $33 billion in taxes, whether you like sports or not. Look at who's on each end of that. On one end, a family deciding whether they can afford to take their kids to 1 game a year. On the other end, an owner who never plays, never risks his body, borrows against a team that only goes up, and gets the public to build his arena. That is the real business of sports. It is one of the most efficient machines ever built for moving money from millions of ordinary people upward to a tiny handful of billionaires and convincing the people paying that they're the lucky ones for being allowed to. And just when you think they've found every way to reach your wallet, the ticket, the license, the cable bill, your taxes, they've opened a 5th one, the newest, and the only one where you hand the money over yourself, willingly, thinking you might win. This channel breaks down the economics behind the biggest deals in sport, and this is chapter 2 of the series. Subscribe because the 5th way is the most dangerous of all. They turn the games you love into a casino. Next time, how Americans bet $148 billion in a single year, lost almost $14 billion of it, and how the leagues quietly take a cut of every dollar you lose. You pay to get in, you pay for the right to pay, you pay on a bill you never read, and you pay in taxes you never approved. That's not fandom, that's the business of sports.